Four main things you need to know about working with this upcoming super new moon in Aquarius this February. But before we get into that, I'm Georgie, welcome to my channel where we talk about all things witchcraft and cyclical living. So for those of you who don't know, the thing that makes this particular new moon a super new moon is because while it's in its new moon phase, it's also the closest to Earth in this particular month. But there is something about this one that makes it extra special because Chiron is coming into alignment with the moon's north node, and this is something that hasn't happened since 2008. So as you can imagine, it's been quite a while since this alignment has happened, and that makes it significant, and it's a time of healing and coming into our authenticity. So we're going to look at the main 4 points of how you can work with this super new moon so that you can get the most out of it and understand what might be coming up in you at this time as well. So for point number 1, the most important thing about this super new moon is that you do you. When it comes to your intentions and your goal setting, it's a time to really get authentic with yourself and what it is that you want your life to look like, and what's truly in alignment with you as a person and your soul. So you don't want to be thinking about all the doubts that could come up around this. It's more essentially about what would you want your life to look like, or what would you want to achieve if you knew that the path that you chose was a given. There was no ifs or buts and doubts as to whether it was possible. What would your day look like? What would you be doing? What is it that you want to achieve? And really drop into yourself and be honest with yourself about it, because it's going to come up in you anyway. So if there's something that you've been called to do, whether it's something that you want to learn, something that you want to bring into the world to create, and it's something that kind of keeps niggling at you, then it's time to do it. This new moon, I was going to say this lunation, but this new moon is the perfect time to be doing that and working with that. So follow your intuition and your gut instinct on what's coming up for you, because that's the most important main theme around this new moon and what it is that you should be working with and focusing your attention on. And of course, once you've done that, you can meditate on this, journal about it, go through your own personal process of figuring out what it is that is most authentic to you. This could be the way that you communicate with people. It doesn't have to be something big, it can be something small as well. Even if it's something like changing your furniture around in your room, but something that is really calling to you and reflects who you are as a person. This could even be the way you dress. It could be literally anything. But once you know what it is that you want to be doing that is in authentic alignment with who you really are at the soul level, then you can look at what action steps do you need to take. Is there a course that you need to do, research that you need to do? Do you need to out things to make space for something new? What is it that you need to change? Turn that into a to-do list, list it all out, all the things that you need to do to make this possible. Then you can turn it into a to-do list so that you are working with the universe and the moon to bring these into alignment, because this also works with law of attraction, witchcraft. It's that intention setting of being able to know exactly what it is and then what you need to do, your action steps to co-create with the universe and a higher power to bring it into fruition. And for our second main topic, we also have healing a hurt. That could be something, that could be healing work that you're doing on yourself. This could be around your limiting beliefs, things that have been holding you back from being authentic. But this can also be a healing for others as well, in a way that how you are showing up in an authentic way, it enables you to then shine a light for other people. The more authentic we are to ourselves, the more it inspires those around us to make those changes and really step into themselves as well. So you're going to be helping others to heal just by being authentic. But any healing work that you do, whether it is any energy healing, using Reiki, crystals, anything like that, or even going for a massage, anything that's going to be healing and restorative for yourself. Could also include yoga, literally anything that you can think of that will help you to heal your body or your relationship with your body and heal your life and your soul, because we're talking about all aspects here. So allow yourself to think outside of the box. What is it that you need to do to help yourself to heal from anything that you've been through in your past, any limiting beliefs, as I've previously said, anything that you are letting go of? Because sometimes when we let go of things and we're working through things, it can make things feel a little bit kind of ragged and sore and raw. So it's about allowing yourself to self-soothe and heal and let those past hurts really begin to heal over, rather than leaving them as a gaping wound that hasn't fully healed yet. So what is it that you need to do that would soothe you, soothe your soul, your body, your mind, your spirit, all aspects of you, to allow yourself to really fully step into that authenticity as well? Because the more that you've healed and focused on your own well-being and just generally how you speak to yourself as well, because that can be part of the healing process, and that's all going to help with bringing your desires and authenticity to the forefront. They work in conjunction with each other. And with this, I'd also associate journaling, shadow work, and those sorts of things as well, because they all help us to heal. Being able to hold space for our inner child and those parts of ourselves that were neglected previously, and tapping into yourself and what it is that you need on a deep, authentic level. What do you need to soothe those parts of yourself that may have been hurt in the past or from experiences that you've had? So they're all something that you can take into account and think of during your healing work that you're doing at this new moon. And this leads us into point number 3. Don't say too much. Now, this can be anything from oversharing what your goals are and what it is that you're working towards, because quite often if we do that, then it opens us up so that people, it's almost like it gives people the right to have an opinion about what it is that we're doing. It can cloud our judgment, put us off of what we're working towards, and make us feel like it isn't possible. Equally, people can be our cheerleaders, but more often than not, if you overshare, you'll find that people have a negative response to it and will try and deter you from doing something, especially if it's out of the box or something that they're not used to, or outside of the box, I should say. So it's important to watch what it is that you're saying and who you're saying it to when it comes to your goals and ambitions. Don't get carried away oversharing. I know it's easy to do when you're excited about something, but make sure that you're focusing that energy on your actual goal and the action steps that you can take, rather than running around or sharing too much with information with people. Now, this can also work in another way. This can also be watching what it is that what you say and what you kind of encourage in others. If there is negative talk about someone else, don't get caught up in gossip. And if you have an opinion about someone that you're not getting on with, or you don't like how they're doing something, perfect example is in the tea room moaning about your boss and how things are going with that. It can breed that negativity, which is going to impact your own energy when you get caught up in those cycles, and it can lead to a more negative outcome. You want to be focusing on the positives and not getting caught up in anything that's going to drag you down. So it's just a matter of watching what you're saying and who you're saying it to, and taking it from there. And this very nicely leads us into our 4th and final point. So keep your cool. Now, if you're getting caught up in things, or there is someone's tempers flaring and you're giving a more blunt answer than normal because that's your authentic self, try to keep your cool, because those around us, We can't, when we make these changes and step into our authenticity, it's going to cause friction with other people. If it's something that they're not used to seeing in us, or a way that we are showing up that is unusual, there's going to be pushback on that, because we're acting out of character and they won't know how to handle us. Same goes for if you've put boundaries in place, and they're going to push back against those boundaries to see whether they can get you to act and react the way that you normally do or would have done in the past. So it's really important at the moment to make sure that you are keeping yourself in check when it comes to your temper. Don't let things get to you, because all you can do is control how you react to a situation. You can't control what someone else thinks, says, or does. So you need to kind of distance yourself from that and take that out of the equation, because there is nothing that you can do about that at all. The only thing that you can do is manage your own temper, try and stay calm, and try to respond rather than react, which isn't always easy in the moment, but it's something to keep in mind at this new moon, or super new moon, I should say. This also fits nicely with the healing work that you're doing. You can incorporate this into that as well. So if you want to take up meditation, that will help soothe your mind and be able to manage stress easier, and anything that comes up that may make your temper flare and those sorts of things. You can also use journaling as well as part of that work. So if there is something that is coming up in you, rather than verbalizing it to the person, write it down, and then you can reflect on it and read it back to yourself, and then see whether it feels like an actual appropriate response or whether it's just your temper flaring as well. So it's a handy tool that you can use just to try and review how you're handling it and keeping your cool. So to round this up for this super new moon, make sure that you focus on being authentic, healing, don't say too much, and keep your cool. But most of all, make sure that you're focusing on what it is that you want to bring in, as with any new moon, and being true to yourself. So until next time, thank you for being here. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe if you feel like doing so, as I would love you to be part of the coven and be part of my notification squad. And until next time, take care. Bye.